Good morning, everyone. I report our topic, C200 Institutional Corrections. By the way, my name is Roy Adong Basecram, Section B, MW 1 to 2 p.m. There are 7 topics in the chapter 1, which are the global view on the prison's administration, prison and antiquity and modernity, and the influence of the Roman Catholic Church and Pope John Paul V, the pro-life Pope, Walnut Street Jail, King Henry VIII, King Edward V, and the Jewel of the King Henry VIII. Before we start, what is correction? Correction, the study of punishment of crime or the criminal offender, and includes the study of control and preventions of crime through punishment of criminal offender. Corrections defines a branch of criminal justice systems concerned with the custody, supervisions, and rehabilitations of criminal offender. Correction administrations, the correction system in the Philippines is composed of 6 agencies under 3 instead of separate department of the national government. The 6 agency under the instead of the separate department of national government, which are the followings: the Department of Justice, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, the Department of Social Welfare and Development. So, let's tackle the chapter 1, which the global view prisons administration. The largest number of the prison system around the world are the state of crisis, the serious effect of which harm prisoners, there are familiar and societies as a whole. The early and the reality in many prisons tend to be not only for far from international standard but also risks undermining the ultimate purpose of statement and imprisonment, the protection of society from crime. While the nature of prison's crisis is multidimensional, it manifests itself in the following ways. Prison. Prison treatment. Prison treatments, the prison's administrations involve security. It involves enforcement rule and regulations in life management of prison system. The jail reforms committed in 1980 or 1983 has also made recommendations regarding prisoner right. In the prison, in an institution from the confinement of prisons who are being remanded or held is custody by the justical authority or who have been deprived of their liberty following convictions of crime. Prisons characteristics: place or area run by state government, provide guilty, perform criminal, keep permanently or temporary. The fact about the Antio-Philippines incarceration system. There are 5: service overcrowding, pre-trial detained, high death tolls, vigilance justice, corruption. Server overcrowding. We investigate complaint of overcrowding houses using a standard contained within the Housing which Act 1985. The Housing Act standard has changed every little since it was first set out in the 1957 Housing Act. Many people who contact us find that they are not illegal overcrowding even through their living condition are over cramped. The second is free trial detain. Free trial detain refers to the time period during which are incurred after being arrested but before you trial. So as we are pre-trial detained, you have not been convicted by crime are not considered guilty. Below we carry as less of virtually all the research about free trial and detentions available online. The next is a high death toll. High death toll, the number of people who die in accident, disaster, war, or etc. 3 people who are injured in the accidents have death, pushing the death of toll to 116. The virus death toll and expected to rise from Little Bean. It's been through in the journalist school was back in the 1980s that death of reduced than when they use toll of describe the number of casualties. Yet time and again even prestigious magazines like Economics and Time refers to the death toll. Fourth, the vigilant justice. Vigilance justice often describe that actions of the single persons or group and the people who claim to enforce the law but lack of the legal authority. However, the terms can also describe in general state of disarray or lawlessness in which competing group of people are claimed to enforce the law in a given area. The example is Duterte lists the exhaustions of vigilant killing. Comes as no surprise. He has made repeated a call on the public to kill drug addict as a part of his anti-drug campaign. On June 30, instructed the Philippines public, if you know of any addict, go ahead and kill them yourself, as getting their parents to do it would be painful. Their calls constitute criminal incitement of commit murder. Lastly is corruption. Corruption. Corruptions in erodes trust, weakness, democracy, harm peers economics development, and future exacerbates inequality, poverty, social division, and the environment crisis. That's corruption. The Philippines suffers from widespread corruptions which developed during the Spanish colony period. Means the corruptions include graft, Beverly, and in Public Act number 3019, the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practice Act, in the main anti-corruption law. There are different types of prisons in antiquity and time. There are So let's move on to the prisons antiquity to modernity. Modernity. Prison antiquity to modernity. Antiquity, ancient times, especially those before the Middle Age of town, that date from antiquity to the quality of being ancient, and castles of great antiquity. The third antiquity, plural, or relics of monuments such as coin, statue, or building of ancient time, and museum of Greek antiquities. Modernity. Generally, the means of modernity is accented with the sweeping change to take place in the society, and particularly in the field of art and literature between late 1950s and the beginning of Second World War. So, it's modernity or antiquity. Nearly instant convictions of circumstance and terrains achieved by the modern in media, the materials of modernity have ended substitute under materials as the stuff of culture. As potential materials from the operations of collective remembrance, modernity is our antiquity. Antiquity to modernity, a timeline of criminal justice and criminology. In our modern nations of crime and the punishments are the result of millennials of human advancement from antiquity to modern time. Criminal justice and the criminology has and involved due to significant contributions from the deserves array of civilizations. Here is the brief timeline of some of the most notable contribution. According to Summer 3500 BC, Summer get generally accepted as the first known urban civilizations and Asian lands in the summer and located in a modern day era. Before summer, people lived small agricultural communities. One summer developed city state appeared. This lead to the formations of preventive governments in order to control the crime that naturally derives from urban life. There's government's bodies began to establish origins of law and order. And according to Plato, 428 to 347 BC, as a student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle, Plato introduced the concept that people are inherently good. This belief greatly influenced to the true on crimes and punishment as the centuries progress. So we come to Aristotle in 384 to 327 BC. Aristotle expanded on the teachings of Plato. Aristotle view rely heavily on scientific observation as the tutor of Alexander the Great. Aristotle would expand upon him and the significance of science and its impact on discussions making. Their teachings as Navy influence on early forensic since the crime scenes investigation.